Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk and starting my walk in East Sussex at an interesting village called Blackboys. And I'm here by the Blackboys Inn. What certainly looks like a delightful country, if not coaching, inn. And I was actually filming somewhere else and I saw this public footpath and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to stop and have a little shufty. So just leaving the Blackboys Inn here, which I have to say is a very delightful inn. It says established in 1389 on the board outside, and I'm heading to what looks like a little woodland just across this road here in front of me. I like to think of myself often as exploring the public footpaths. Now there's a bit of a noise and a droning sound coming from down here, so I hope I'm not going to be disturbing anybody. This is Kiln Wood, Woodland Trust. Welcome, it says. A bit squishy underfoot, but I'm not too worried about that if I stick not to the main centre of the path, but actually where some of the leaves and trees have come down. This is obviously a coppiced wood that's being looked after by the Woodland Trust, and it does look very splendid and magnificent. Look at some of these coppiced trees on the left hand side. Beautiful. As you know, if you're a regular viewer of my stuff, you'll know that I'm fascinated by trees and woodland now, and trying to learn as much as I can about them, and in due course make more films about them. I think people down here are just doing some chopping and cutting by the sounds of things. It's actually very muddy underfoot though. Oh, there's somebody with a million dogs coming up this way. I've got the most slipperiest shoes on. Good morning. A bit slippery underfoot, isn't it?
Oh, very much this time of year, yeah.
Yeah. I'll try and get past this without going arse over tit, as I have done in the past. And I guess they must be contractors for the Woodland Trust working down there. Can't really see them. And here, coming away from that little bit of wood onto this path, past these delightful catkins, and I don't know where this is taking me, and that's the enthrall of finding a public footpath and just going for it. I'll get away from the noise, which would be one good thing. I don't know if they're alders, those trees with the catkins. I must look that up. But it's good to see people actually coppicing the trees. I often go through woodlands, and it does seem that there's a lot of woods that have been neglected, that the coppists have turned beyond coppicing into almost standards, and by that I mean, you know, proper trees, when traditionally they would have been coppiced, well, anything I suppose from 20 to 50, 80 years, something like that. Now there does seem to be a woodland walk that way, and that is called Millwood. That's Woodland Trust as well. Or I can just shoot up here. Let's shoot up here because I won't have the sun glaring down the lens, and that's always a good thing. But we seem to have got some chairs over there for sunning the view at the same time. It is nice to get out, obviously. It's February as I record this, and I keep looking for those signs of spring as we slowly get there. And as you look at the buds on the trees, you can see that they're growing and getting bigger. Now, I'm somebody who hasn't really in the past taken a great deal of interest in nature and trees. And I feel that's very remiss of me, because in the past I just felt, you know, it's there. Why would I be that bothered about it? But now I am. Now look at this. Just come over here. Here's a tree which I think is an oak, a small oak, because we've got these here. Let's see if I can get the camera in to have a look. These funny things are oak apples, and they're actually caused by a some sort of pest or larvae that makes them swell up. And here, I'm pretty certain this is oak. I think that's definitely an oak stem, and it's nice to see a very small oak growing here. Whether it's self-seeded, most likely. I don't know that people plant oaks anymore, or if they really ever did, because they were in woodlands, and of course they self-seed. Then we've got these with these catkins, and funnily enough, I was only looking the other day at pictures of what these could be, and I've forgotten, and if I find out, I've probably put it on the screen. Or maybe not. We'll just go a bit further, because this is only a short little 10-minute walk. I'm going to get off this main muddy patch and just go this way, because it's a little bit easier. More oak trees, actually. So maybe this has been a planted oak. Look, there's more of these oak apples. So maybe this is a planted oak wood. Actually, there's loads of them now that I'm looking. So not self-seeded at all. I don't know what these are. These are something different. And on it goes down this very muddy track and beyond. But I'm not going to go that far, because I don't have the right shoes on. I'm going to cease my walk here. But fascinating nonetheless. So there you go. I'm in Blackboys, and that's a curious name, and no doubt has a curious history to it. But lovely to see the oak trees. And here we go, a bit more proof, as if I needed it. The oak leaves. They're still on the trees. I have never seen a young oak wood. So actually this is quite remarkable for me, and I'm quite stunned, and I hope I'm not just making a complete arse of myself going on about it. But look, you know, these are little oak trees, and we think of oak trees as massive, great big trees. On the other side of this fence, curiously, it looks like birch. Here, looks like silver birch. I don't know if it's silver birch, but it looks like birch. It's got that sort of wallpapering bark that birch has. So yeah, this has been a really nice and fascinating and interesting little walk, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to make my way back now, and I will catch you on the next one. Till then, bye for now.